Welcome, everybody, to Den Excelsior, the mostly Marvel show. I'm your host,
Podcast.
Ricky. Like 6 months ago, I asked you, are we a podcast or are we a show? And you said
Oh,
show.
but well, if you need me to change the title on all the thumbnails, let me know.
I mean, mostly Marvel podcast.
What we are versus what the title is are two different things.
What are we, Dennis?
The show is called the Mostly Marvel Podcast. That is what the show is called.
I'm your host, Ricky.
You see the distinction there? The show is called this.
With me, as always, is Dennis. It's episode 198. We're talking about Peacemaker season 2, episode 6.
I put on the thumbnail the one that killed the death of an emote, I think is what I called it.
Yeah, that's my news. We can talk about it now. That's
crazy. I don't want to spoil yet.
Is that spoiler?
It's spoiling what we're going to talk about later. So yes. It's not a spoiler in that Fortnite was the only people who couldn't have guessed where this was going. But sure, I guess it's not actually a spoiler. The thing that Ricky pointed out several weeks ago ends up coming true in Peacemaker, which we'll talk about later today, and then Ricky will be able to talk about that either now or in the news, whichever you want. But it resulted in Fortnite quickly adjusting things.
Yeah. It's a dance. I will say contextually, the dance that Peacemaker does in that emote is a dance that Donald Duck does in a very old Disney propaganda film about World War II.
Yeah. So here's the trick. We'll put it out there. Just we're not going to do our full on Peacemaker conversation right now. We'll do it later in the evening. But just because it is really relevant and on top of everybody's minds, Ricky pointed out a few weeks ago that when Peacemaker went to the perfect dimension, if you notice in the background, there are 0 persons of color as extras throughout the whole thing, which is pretty noticeable when you actually are looking for that, because James Gunn is notorious for casting diverse extras, like in everything. If you go back and look at any of his other work, you will never
notorious the right word for
or famous, whatever you want to call it. Like he's I don't know if notorious is the word, but you know what I mean. I guess when I mean notorious, I mean he was pulling a trick on everybody, right? Like he was doing something intentionally to subvert our expectations. But Ricky caught it along with a lot of the other internet. It blew up into a whole fan conspiracy. Like we're just waiting. We were waiting. Which episode is it going to be? The ball finally dropped. It's basically a Nazi dimension. I don't know if that's going to get flagged on whatever platform we
call
put
this alt-right dimension. Like,
sure, you could call it an alt-right dimension, whatever. The point is, the Peacemaker emote in Fortnite that came out a few weeks ago, he does a dance that is from the intro of the show, and people have pointed out that the dance he kind of alludes to by the shapes he makes with his arms, what could be interpreted as a swastika. But like Ricky's pointing out, it's also a dance that Donald Duck did many, many years ago during World War II. The point, the real the kicker is everybody kind of already knew the direction the show was going, and yet Fortnite didn't. And so when they realized what that dance could possibly imply, they took it down to go and have a talk with the authors to determine what the intentions of the dance are. And then their plan is assuming it doesn't come back, they will be issuing refunds. Now, the trick I have with the whole thing is, even if the dance didn't mean that before, it does now.
Yeah,
Because Fortnite made it mean that now, right? Like, they just by having that conversation, we have now shaped the context of that dance forever. So it's kind of weird. It's weird. It's very meta. It's very outside of the show. James Gunn doesn't normally have to care about what kind of audiences are consuming his shows and movies, because he's very clearly going for specific age ratings and stuff. But when you get into video game content, it's very different. Like, because people can use those emotes how they want to.
Yeah, I feel like it's more so overseas though. I feel like video game laws are a little stricter.
Yeah, they're pretty strict here though too. They can be in certain respects. But yes, you're right. It does make it harder to sell that emote in certain countries, especially Germany. That would not fly in Germany for sure. It's not popular. But so we can talk way more about that later in the show, about the whole episode and what it means that came out. But it was a weird, funny meta moment that happened in our lives recently this week. And sorry if I spoiled one of your news stories. I just thought it was.
No, it's. I bought it. Did you buy it?
I bought it.
You bought it,
sure.
right? Yeah. So
yeah. Well, I love the dance, and honestly, that dance is the only way to get the snippet of the song right now in Fortnite. And so I'm really sad because we lost the song, and I love the song. I've been singing that song all freaking week. I can't stop. I hear that song in my head all day, every day. I hate to know that people are out there skipping the intro of Peacemaker every week, because it's my favorite thing to listen to right now. It for me, it transcends the love in this house of K-pop demon hunters. Like,
oh wow,
which I'm just saying, my wife would disagree.
You like a Nazi theme song? That's just what it is.
It's not okay. I don't think Foxy's Shazam would appreciate you calling their song a Nazi theme song. Okay.
Art is in the eye of the beholder.
Fair enough.
A lot of the beholders right now.
Fair enough. But I do like Foxy's Shazam. They're great.
Questionable emotes aside, how has your week been?
It's been pretty good. I've been it's a lot of wrestling, a lot of prepping art for a market that's coming up this Saturday at Ninja Exchange. Actually, they're hosting a outdoor market monthly starting this Saturday, just in the parking lot right outside Ninja Exchange. So I kind of figured that is like a really cool place to have my wacky toy photography, so I'm going to be there on Saturday afternoon. So I've been preparing stuff for that. What else have I been doing? Playing Fortnite as usual. I finished that Daft Punk. I did the Daft Punk with you until you decided to leave me and go play with your other friends instead. So that was fun.
I mean, the friend I left to go play with it, me and him have a very
I know
extensive Daft Punk history.
I know
done cosplay.
I never assumed that your appreciation of Daft Punk was in isolation. You couldn't have created that much of a fandom within yourself by yourself.
It's funny. Well, the fandom between the two of us, it goes back to, we were in high school, we were always fans. And then after high school, we decided to go to PAX together. And on a trip to PAX in Boston, during SNL, Daft Punk announced their newest album. And so it was a neat moment for us to be like together when this like very random thing happened. Like, it literally was just like a TV commercial happened. So to go from like beginning to end of that album was just very like, transcendent. So I'm happy that there's from like a fan perspective, a lot of love went into that thing. There's some deep cuts in terms of what they reference. I'm very happy. Like it's just straight up a concert, like the concert that they do.
It's a concert, but with mini games too. Like
Yeah.
that's what's cool. Yeah.
Um, it also, I mean, it makes me sad that they're done. It's like, damn, we're never going to get them again. But it's a really cool tribute. Like, I'm
Oh, wait,
happy
are they retiring? Is that what that was?
they retired like 3 years ago. Like they've officially announced that they're like not doing anything anymore. So they sold all of their like marketing rights or whatever out. So anything that at this point is basically that ad agency.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
But they're done.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no new Daft Punk music.
Got it. I see. Yeah. Well, I did that one, and you know what? I also watched. I watched both seasons of Platonic.
What at?
That's Seth Rogen's other show on Apple TV.
Oh, yep.
With Rose Byrne. My heart was broken when the last episode of the second season ended on a cliffhanger, and I thought my Apple broke because I was like, wait, where's the next episode? And it just didn't happen because that season doesn't exist yet. So it's pretty funny. It's a good show. I like it.
Go watch Rose Byrne. The Godzilla show.
I'll watch it eventually. I don't know if you know, but Platonic's number 5 on the top 10 TV shows this week.
I mean, season 2 just came out. It's still fairly recent.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I want to say it came out right after the studio.
Oh, okay.
But Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne's a good combo.
But is it still going? Like, is it possible that I didn't hit a cliffhanger, but
I think it's done by now.
Oh, the season's done. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, no, they're a great comedic duo. Like, I think it's a very meta thing because, like, if you think back to like all the projects they've done together, they've done a lot. Like, she's basically become his new James Franco, right? Like she's in all of his newer stuff, like which is more mature, dealing with adult relationships. It's still comedy and raunch and all that stuff, but I think it's funny that, like, he's formed this amazing working relationship with one single person, and the whole joke of Platonic is that, like, a man and woman can't be platonic friends, right? Like, and so this show is giving you that. Like, it's really funny because, like, as soon as we started watching it, Lindsay was like, oh, I already see where this is going. I don't like this. They're going to start hooking up. And I'm like, I don't think they are. I think that's exactly what Seth Rogen's trying to not do. And I think the meta part about it is, like, if you think about it, he's happily married, and he, his wife trusts him to go and make all these movies and all these shows with Rose Byrne over and over and over again. And, like, so they must be legit, real good platonic friends, like, and I think that chemistry carries through into the show, and she's got really great comedic timing, man. She's super funny.
She's funny.
Yeah. She's super
Maura McTaggart.
That was a waste of her talent, is those X-Men movies, man. Those X-Men movies were a waste of her talent, for sure.
They wiped her memory in the first class, right? And then
yeah, I think so.
He finds her again. Yeah.
And then in Days of Future Past, she's just there, but she doesn't remember any of them.
Moira's also in The Last Stand? Or no?
Moira is also in The Last Stand.
Okay.
It's a different actress.
Different actor, yeah. Yeah.
But she's taking care of the body that Professor X mind inhabits at the end of the movie, like after he dies. Remember?
Yeah. I mean, now that I think about it, we gave a lot of shit for Wonder Woman 84 for doing that.
Well, the body that he takes over was in a vegetative state that was never going to recover. Does
that make it right?
They did a lot of mental gymnastics to justify that it's okay. They did way more than Wonder Woman ever did. I'm saying they said
it makes it more okay.
I'm not taking away from the fact that it was still something created by Bryan Singer. Okay, like, so that's fair. So yeah. Take it with a grain of salt. But I'm just saying, why are you making me defend X-Men 3? I hate that movie so much. Like that. Don't make me defend that. It's not good. It's not good. I'll defend Wonder Woman 84 all day. I like that movie.
Wait, really?
We've done a show on it. I love
You
that
were
movie.
not positive on that movie.
I was.
On 84?
I like 84. It's you and Frank that don't like 84.
I like Pedro in 84.
I like a lot of things about 84. We did a show on that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
I'm not the one
I'm not
accusing her of
I'm
rape.
telling the
Okay. I thought you were telling me to watch it. I'm like, I lived it. Why do I have to watch that show again? Like, it's okay. Yes, everybody can go and watch that one, and you can just flame me in the comments for my hot takes, because I'm the one that disagrees with most of the world on that movie. So I understand. I understand your complaints. They're valid. They're valid. I just find the movie fun.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah. All right. So what about you? What have you been nerding out
on? I am almost done rewatching Malcolm in the Middle. So I'm very happy about that. That show.
They're doing a
reunion, a reboot. Right? It's a reunion without Dewey.
Aww.
Dewey said no.
Aww.
I forgot how long that show went on for.
Yeah, it was for a while.
They're like towards the end. Well, at the end, they're like referencing like an Xbox 360. And I'm like, oh, I remember when that came out. Like,
yeah.
No, that show's good. That show, like, I think just solidifies the greatness that is Bryan Cranston.
Oh yeah, that was, everybody fell in love with Bryan Cranston when that show was on TV. So like it was such a wonderful thing to see him get all his flowers like in Breaking Bad, because I think everybody who enjoyed Malcolm in the Middle knew that man was quite talented. So I think honestly the best actors are really good at doing comedy, or they start as comedic actors. You know what I mean? Because comedy is all about timing, you know. And so like once you nail that, you can go do serious stuff. So Adam Sandler does it every now and then. Jim Carrey does it. You know what I mean? Like it's like everybody loves Adam Sandler's serious stuff more than his comedies, like way more, including you.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think. Yeah, he does. When he locks in, he does. He does put on a pretty great performance. Speaking of, I mean, Uncut Gems, but the Safdies. I can't wait for the Smashing Machine to see The Rock attempt an Oscar.
I've heard he's good in it. I've heard he's good, so we'll see. You let me know. I'm not watching that in theaters.
All right.
Yeah. Anything else you got going on? How's your sports games going? Just for anybody who's missing our shows on Thursdays or Fridays, we're doing them on Tuesdays because it's more convenient for sports games. Right?
I mean, that's not the only reason.
Oh, I thought that was.
No.
Oh. I thought it was for sports games.
Sports are great. I'm going to go see sports on Friday, or on Saturday, or on Sunday. I lost my train of thought. I noticed you don't have it on the title, but I did watch Marvel Zombies.
You know what? Damn.
We don't have to talk about it.
No. No. I think that is an indictment on my opinion of Marvel Zombies, that I honestly forgot to put it in the description and the title. But yeah, I will update the description later. I am down to talk briefly about it.
About right now. I mean, it's a thing that exists. I'm happy that it exists.
I'm not. I actually really actively disliked it. I was really.
It's cool moments to show. It's like, oh, what? It's like, oh, you need to see this thing. This character, this thing.
It was just murder porn. That's all it was.
I mean, kind of. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's not what the comic was, and so like I got very purist while I was watching that show. I couldn't help it, like, because the whole thing with the comic is like they got Robert Kirkman to write the comic.
The zombie guy.
The guy who made zombies mainstream in our world again. Like he is the guy who created The Walking Dead and wrote like all of that book. And Marvel's like, hey, could you do a zombie book for us? And he's like, okay, I'll do it, but like I gotta make it different. I gotta make it different from the thing I've already been doing for, the last 5, 6, 7 years of my life, whatever. And so he created a new set of rules, right? Because like every horror story has its
every
own rules.
zombie, each zombie is a little different.
But every horror story, I'm just speaking generally. Like there's always rules, right? Like you can't invite a vampire into your house. You can't, you can't. If you give them garlic, it's gonna hurt. Blah blah blah. Werewolves, silver bullets, and all this stuff. And for zombies, it's pretty much like a shoot them in the head kind of thing, whatever. But when you're dealing with Marvel zombies, it got different. Like they decided, okay, look, basically there's like superheroes, and which are like 1% of the population, and then there's everybody else, right? And so from Robert Kirkman's point of view, the superheroes are the apex predators, right? If they get the zombie virus or whatever it is, they will eradicate the entire human race. And that's pretty much what they do, like really fast, like really quickly. It's not a lot of effort for superheroes who are carnivorous and have an insatiable hunger to just wipe out humanity. The fun part about it is that every character, when they eat, after their hunger is temporarily satiated, or sated, I forget, satiated, they regain their consciousness. So for a brief period, they get to regain their mental faculties and be aware of what they are, what's going on in the world, and they can make plans. They can figure out what they want to do to survive, whatever. And what's funny to me is like every character gets to come back as a version of themselves, right?
So they get to be a hero,
or a depressing sob story. Like every time Spider-Man eats, he then becomes aware and he just starts remembering the first kills he did, which were Aunt May and Mary Jane. And then he just starts crying, and all he does is cry until he gets hungry again. Like he's like useless to them. He's more useful to them as a zombie than he is as a person. The Hulk, when he eats like, like the hunger of a Hulk. And then once he's full and he relaxes, he turns back into Banner, and then his stomach explodes because there's too much food inside of him. It's this crazy mix of gore and comedy that is like a lot of the show, and it just keeps one-upping the comic. It just keeps one-upping itself and going to new ridiculous heights. So like eventually in the Marvel Zombies story, Silver Surfer and Galactus show up, and they're like, what's that? Food. And they just eat Galactus, and then they gain the power cosmic. And then next thing you know, they're off to go conquer all the universes and stuff. And so I just felt like the scale of this show was so tiny, and the characters weren't allowed to actually have personality. Like the only thing they were allowed to do was, I guess, still know how to use their powers. So like Hawkeye still knew how to shoot a bow and arrow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's boring. It's boring in context. So I watched
they were murderous versions of themselves. That's all it was.
Yes, but with very little thought involved, except for Wanda. Wanda was the one who figured out how to reality or fix her own reality, and so she can be aware of everything, and she was controlling everybody, and she was just the big villain. And I just thought it was kind of a cop out because like it felt like it needed to continue where What If left off, and I would have just preferred it just ignored What If entirely and did its own thing, because this really did feel like a What If spin-off. You know what I mean? Like even the animation was the same too, right?
Same team.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? This is specifically a like mini series, just so they can have Spider-Man in it. Because if it's a movie, if it's one long form thing, then it would be a movie, and Spider-Man could not be in it.
What about a series though? He can be
Yeah, so Spider-Man can exist in 30-minute increments, basically.
Oh,
On Disney Plus.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It could have been a four episodes could have been one movie.
Yeah,
But
because it's about 2 hours, the whole thing.
but it couldn't be one movie because of Spider-Man. I see
Because
what
of
you're saying.
Spider-Man, yeah.
That's meta and dumb, and I'm annoyed by it. I'm also annoyed that they use Hudson James for Spider-Man when that wasn't him in the What If. You know what I mean? Like,
I took more issue with Blade, like, and
yeah.
to be fair, it's not the show's fault that Blade. This is our, I guess, technically second appearance of a Blade. But oh man, it's like, what are we doing, dude? Like,
I know. Like for me, honestly, that was the one that we took issue with months ago when you announced it. So like
let me see the guy normally.
I didn't feel the need to even bring that one up again, but that was an obvious annoying thing that was going on in the show the whole time. For me, my favorite moment was when Khonshu and Valkyrie had a conversation and no one else could see what was going on. I liked it because it was comedy in a post-apocalyptic world, you know what I mean? But it was only because Blade was inhabited by Khonshu, which was just like,
I hate the fact that this is the most Blade that we've gotten, and also technically the most Moon Knight that we've gotten. Like Raw.
No, we got Moon Knight in Moon Knight.
If you add up the actual Moon Knightness in the Moon Knight show compared to this, there's more of Blade Moon Knight.
Are you sure about that? Or you just feel that way?
No, it's not. The Moon Knight in Marvel Zombies never turns it off. Whereas the Moon Knight in the Moon Knight show,
but he's not in the whole show. He's like he's like a background character half the time.
I would take that bet that Moon Knight as an avatar of Khonshu exists in a longer form in this show than it does in his own show.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's weird. It's gross.
I mean, in fairness, if you want to do that, we have had more Shang-Chi in animated form than we have live action.
Fair.
That I'm fairly certain of.
100%.
Yeah. So like they're kind of dropping the ball on a lot of characters lately. Like we like am I wrong? Did I not see Icarus fighting a zombie Icarus fighting, or not zombie Icarus? Icarus fighting zombie Captain Marvel?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that conceit was really cool because obviously Icarus is a robot.
That was Icarus, right? Though, right?
Yeah, it was Icarus. Okay.
Yeah. Damn, man. Like, why can't we get the Eternals back? Like, I like them, dude. So yeah, I think that's the whole problem with Marvel Zombies, right? Is it made me just sad for the larger MCU because I'm like, they're like, I wish I could live in an existence where I appreciated just watching them play with toys, but I think there was too much meta involved. I mean, you're sitting there watching it thinking about like, this is the only reason they did it this way is so they could have Spider-Man. And I'm thinking like, this Blade thing's annoying. Why can't we do it more like this? You know, like, but I wish I could have just been enjoying the fact that we were playing with all the toys.
Like it's almost too long.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just chop it up into something an hour long or something a little bit more personal. But I think the spoiler rich is right of having everyone in the thing. It's just like it gives you an excuse to kill off everybody.
I wish they did it like I Am Groot, and where it's like 5-minute episodes.
Sure, like little one shots,
like 5-minute episodes, like that take us through all of October. That'd have been rad. You know what I mean? Just like every day, you're just like, I'm gonna watch 5 minutes and be like, ooh,
cool. Ultimately, none of this matters.
No, none of it mattered, and that's why I was annoyed by it, and that's why I forgot to include it in the title of our episode, and that's why I'm okay with that too, because let's be honest, like
it exists.
We're here to talk about Peacemaker, right? Like that's the real thing. Like that's the show that is absolutely entertaining me more than anything else. And so yeah, Like, I mean, I guess Alien Earth finished last week too. I kind of forgot about that, right? Like, that's.
I've
Did you
not
watch
finished
that?
it.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
you didn't finish it? Boy, that episode did not stick the landing for me, man.
No.
No, not at all.
Oh,
So
well, are you you would be interested in a season 2?
yes,
Okay.
I wouldn't say it failed me. I would just say I was expecting a lot more gore than I got in the last episode of an Alien story. So I'm saying that was the last hour of an 8-hour show, and in that hour, the xenomorph killed 0 people. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you doing in the last hour of an alien story? That's when the alien kills the most things, right? Like, yeah, that hurt my soul. It hurt. It hurt. But
I mean,
it's still a
just
good show.
be happy where we got an alien movie on deck. Presumably season 2 of this on deck. We got a super cool Predator looking movie coming soon.
See how easy it was to switch subjects from Marvel Zombies?
Pretty easy.
Pretty easy. It was very forgettable for me. Yeah, so but yeah, no, you're right. There's so many better things out there. So like let's talk about the news and then talk about the best thing of the week.
Let's do it. Alrighty, we talked about it a few weeks ago, but on October 17th with the 4.5 update, Daredevil is coming to Marvel Rivals, duelist character. Have you been playing that game at all, or have you totally dropped off?
No. You know, the funny thing is I haven't deleted it because every now and then I want to go look at the characters. But I think the thing I hate about that game is how slow it is. Like their movement is so slow. Like
There is a jank when you compare it to like an Overwatch. For better or for worse, Overwatch is a very tight and precise game, and there's just like a weird, almost like floatiness or like I guess yes, you just feel slow. You feel heavy in this game.
Yeah.
They're also adding, funny enough, some Marvel zombie skins, so you can be Blade, Moon Knight, or Zombie Spider-Man if you wanted to.
Yeah. Like, would I buy a toy of Blade Moon Knight? Absolutely. Absolutely. So not a question, you know, not even a problem. But yeah, I like I said, I have it installed on my computer just so I can look at it. You know, the real turnoff for me, like I could have been okay with the controls. I have a bigger problem with the fact that it won't let you sync your account across platforms.
Oh, really?
Yes, like that's the part that annoys me. So like I have like PlayStation exclusive stuff on my PlayStation account, and I can't use that on my PC account because they're not the same account. I have to have a different username for the PlayStation. I have to just everything. And I think that's what annoys me the most about it. Cause like, you know what I mean? Like you play Fortnite and you feel good about it. You can play Overwatch PC and console, and it's still the same account, right?
Yeah, same. I guess
Blizzard
technically
account.
Activision. Yeah.
Blizzard, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Battle.net. That's what it is.
Yes, battle.net. Yeah, you got it. So I think between the sluggishness and the fact that I can't have cross-play easily, it's not worth me playing. But let me know when they fix that, you know, at least one of those two things.
We'll do. Another thing that came out this week that you might be playing. Magic the Gathering Spider-Man officially released. And along with that announcement, next year we're getting a Marvel Heroes set. Whoever that is. Did you pick up any Magic Spider-Man?
I have the starter decks. I don't. I have plans with a friend of mine who is getting a box to do a draft because I want to try.
Okay.
I did go to the trouble of learning how to play Magic so that I can do it.
I recommend getting a fat pack or a bundle. You get a really cool Spider-Man D20 in that, like $40.
A fat pack or a bundle?
They used to be called fat packs, like officially. I think now they're called bundles. But it's like it's a box. It's a storage box with like 8 or 9 boosters and a die or a die. But it's like a special Spider-Man die.
I'm looking it up.
But get you that, and then also this week we had a state of play we talked about last week. But we saw our first official look at Marvel's Wolverine game, the Insomniac team's next video game coming out next year. Did you take a look at this state of play?
I did. I saw the trailer. I heard some people were saying that they're happy because like Wolverine's normal size. Is that true? Like I couldn't tell.
He looked normal size. I mean, it's hard to say in the trailer, but when compared, he fights Omega Red in the trailer, and I think he looks appropriately sized when compared to an Omega Red. So take that as well.
What, do you mean appropriately sized in that he's smaller than Omega Red?
He's a lot smaller than Omega Red.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess if the villains are huge, but I am kind of annoyed at the idea that we need to make Wolverine look more normal size. Like I get that we did that for Hugh Jackman, but I kind of thought that we were just letting Hugh be the exception. But I want my short king. Okay? I know it's funny looking in Deadpool and Wolverine, but that's because they like legit like morphed, like they like morphed Hugh Jackman. But if you got a real person that looked that correct, it would be cool. It would be cool. Like I think that's one of the things that makes Wolverine cool. You know what I mean? Is that he's little and he will wreck you.
Who's taller, Wolverine or Puck?
No one's taller or no one's shorter than Puck. Like as far as like Puck is an actual little person.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Puck's power is that she's durable?
Yeah, they like throw him like into stuff and stuff, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember the specifics of Puck's ability. All I know is he's an actual little person.
There, if you want to circle back to sports, there was a coach, a college football coach, who went into like some serious conversation, like recorded conversation of like, what if we get a little person on our team and throw them, specifically for like football, as a means to like gain yardage, and it kind of presented like an Air Bud situation where it's like it's not in the rules, but it's also not in the rules that you can't. So maybe Puck can play football.
Okay. What else you got in the news, Ricky?
Last bit of news, Marvel Studios had a untitled release date for July 23rd, 2027. Presumably this was going to be the Secret Wars date. That date has now been overtaken by the recently announced Simpsons movie sequel, or just another Simpsons movie, however you want to define it.
We're doing it? We're doing another Simpsons movie, huh?
Mm-hmm. Another Simpsons movie. It'll be 20 years since the original Simpsons movie. It's crazy.
20 years?
2007, the first.
Wow. Wow. So do we have any slots left for a Marvel movie now, or?
Not for that year, but there had yet to be claimed a slot for December. So It could either be an Avatar. It's either an Avatar, Star Wars, or a Marvel, right? That's usually that's the current Disney cycle.
Yeah.
So
before we move on to Peacemaker, I'm just curious, like as a co-host of a mostly Marvel podcast, like let me take your temperature. How excited are you for the Marvel projects coming out next year right now?
I'm pretty excited for Spider-Man.
Okay.
I think just the hype around it, the team. We actually never talked about it, but Jackie Chan's stunt team's doing the action for that movie.
Oh, really?
or I guess I think they wrapped already, but did the action for that movie. There's a lot of cool pieces in that project right now that I'm eager to see the outcome. I'm more excited for that than Doomsday. I think my feelings for Doomsday will be settled once we get a trailer. Like you gotta rip the Band-Aid off and show the Doom thing, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah. It's not an all-time high. Like I'll say that.
Yeah. Is it bad of me to say that I feel like everything's taking too long?
No, and I don't blame them, right? Look, we had a COVID, we had a writer's strike, the stacked deck.
Man of Tomorrow comes out in 2027.
Mm-hmm.
How did he do that?
It's like you lock it down from the top, right? Like, look, I mean, I think Blade's like the what's I'm trying to think of the opposite of like Golden Goose, where it's like you had this project that you announced probably prematurely, and now it's like, what are we doing? Like, where is it, right? They seem to operate, and it's a catch-22, right? Some of the Marvel criticisms, like specifically like around Age of Ultron, it was just the setup movie, right? Yeah. And I think
say it aged like a fine wine, but it's still not a great movie.
Yeah, and you get some hints that they may be gun shy to get back into that position, but also to pull off what they're trying to pull off, you do need that kind of foresight, right? Just for like scheduling alone, because you're also not the beauty of a Man of Steel's, right? They're playing with actors.
Man of Tomorrow
or Band of Tomorrow, they're playing with actors who they've locked down for the foreseeable future, right?
Yeah.
Whereas with Marvel, you're playing with people who are on
contracts
that are contracts or like limited. They're limited, and you just can't. You're getting great talent. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, they have other commitments. It's like a "you need me, I don't need you" kind of situation.
Yeah, and I guess like John Cena is the biggest name they have locked down right now, right? On in the
Nicholas Holt's the highest paid person on
is he
on
Superman?
DC, yeah,
on Superman, yeah,
but, by a lot.
Okay, I mean, I still wouldn't put him up there against most of the talent they get on Marvel. Do you know what I mean?
No, but he's available, right? He's theirs for.
Yeah, he was in the ghetto Marvel stuff. Ricky's done with me on that one.
Nah, we're getting that back in next year in Doomsday.
I know.
So.
We'll see. All right, cool. I'm done. I just wanted to know, because I feel like I don't want to feel like a curmudgeon, but it makes me like, it's when we do things that dilute the brand, like Marvel Zombies, and don't add anything to the universe, like in a meaningful way. I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, why? Like, you just reminded me that the Eternals is a real thing, and we haven't touched them since COVID.
Like,
and that's annoying.
I honestly would expect them to talk a bit more about like Secret Wars, right? Like, that's all. I would argue that's gonna be it's a bigger movie than Doomsday.
Yeah,
in terms of cachet,
Doomsday is gonna be a setup movie, man. See,
did you see the leaked costumes?
I saw the Doom.
The Cyclops looks cool.
I didn't see anything else. I think my problem is at this point, I'm like, we all know you know how to do the real costumes. So like, you know what I mean? We know you know how to do it now.
I mean, so yeah, by casting RDJ, it adds his extra meta on the Doom thing. On it, will they or won't they make it a story point?
Yeah.
And that's also like, it's not something that I want, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't want it to be a story point, but
I'm
again,
tired of the meta. You know what I mean? I'm tired.
you're playing with these big names that you kind of have to make it a story point.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So, anywho, Doomsday.
Shall we talk about Peacemaker?
Oh, Doomsday Peacemaker.
Or I guess we could do more news.
Wrong button. Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 6. I always forget the titles.
Ignorance is Chris.
Ignorance is Chris. We get to see what happens when people go through the door.
They did the thing.
They did the thing.
Right. They did the thing. We got to see what this dimension is, and as we already spoiled earlier in the episode, this is basically whatever you want to call it, Earth X, Earth 2, Earth 10, whichever version of it. It's been retconned several times throughout the DC universe. This is a reference to the version of Earth in which Roosevelt died of a stroke, and the Germans were
In the
able
comics.
in the comics. I'm saying yes. I'm saying this is a reference. What this world is a reference to a comic universe in which Roosevelt died and the Germans ended up winning World War II, and so the world looks familiar, but at a glance it does. But then if you look a little closer, you'll start to notice. And I think that's really, it's a very clever thing because, like, I mean, it's not clever in like the, you clocked them like three weeks ago, right? You saw what they were doing right away. And then a ton of the internet also saw that, like you did. And so we all saw that coming, but that doesn't make it not cool. What makes it interesting is that while last week I was talking about how this first half of the show was this really awesome like allegory for suicide, right? But I think we're done with that allegory for right now, right? I think we've crossed the threshold, and now we're going into this other exploration. And I think we're talking more about like what it means to be a white male and experiencing privilege, because Chris was completely oblivious to why his perfect dimension was perfect. And he'd been there for days, right? Like he'd been there many days. Like, and the second Harcourt showed up, she was like, something's off here. And I don't know what, it took her maybe 10, 20 minutes before she finally was like, have you noticed there are no persons of color anywhere? And he's like, no, that can't be right. Like, and they play it in a really funny way, but it is making a statement that whether or not, you like to believe it or not, like it's, when you're in a place of privilege, it's harder to notice why you're in a place of privilege. You know what I mean? Unless someone else can point it out to you who is in a lower place of privilege or without privilege and stuff. So I like that we ripped the Band-Aid off on that one. I like the way it was executed slowly throughout the episode. And when it finally wraps with poor Adebayo running through the streets, being chased by every white person in the neighborhood, that was amazing. It was great. And I don't like, how do you feel? Like, I know you were feeling like the previous episodes were filler and or in a way.
Well, I'm happy that we're there, right? They validate the sentiment, or they validate what was happening, right? Well, what everyone else noticed was happening. I do feel like this episode we could have gotten a little bit more out of it, but I'm not gonna I'm glad we're there. I'm glad we're there with 2 episodes left to like resolve it.
And to get to play in this universe.
Yeah,
in
they get to
weird,
play
in
with.
weird. But I don't think we need to play in this universe more than 2 more episodes. That would
No.
that would get icky, right? Like, so
You know, we also get Lex back to like our previous conversation, but right, you have these actors locked down for a pretty serious commitment in the short term future. Use them, right? How if I'm Rick Flag, right? I need to track down this interdimensional
portal,
rift portal thing. Man, I'm gonna call the guy who I just arrested for doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, right? The logic logicked pretty good in this.
Yeah, game. And it's one thing to say, like, you could say off screen, Rick Flag, I'm gonna go see someone, pay someone a visit, or I'm gonna go talk to Lex, rather than I'm gonna show you talking to Lex, like the show rather than tell. And even though he's only in the show for 2 minutes tops, if that, it's satisfying. It makes sense. It's not gratuitous, right? He is the one that you would need to call in that situation, and he showed up. And he did.
But I also like that he like blended into the Peacemaker world.
He dropped like an F-bomb. Yeah.
Yeah, he's tired of listening to a bear of a man with dragon scales, but fuck a twink with glowing cartoon eyes. Did you not spend even a tiny bit of your week trying to figure out who those 2 people are?
I don't care.
I feel like one of them's Killer Croc.
Was he in the end on the new monster creature, on the new Creature Commando team?
I don't know. My initial question would have been like, but wouldn't Killer Croc be in Arkham Asylum? But then I remembered that Killer Croc was actually in the first Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, they were Belle Reve.
They were in Belle Reve, right? So then I negated my
own. You know what makes it weird though? So I saw it point out today. In the second Suicide Squad movie, Bloodsport's in there for shooting Superman with a kryptonite bullet.
Okay.
Timeline wise, if you go by the opening credits of Superman hasn't been beaten up until that point. So
yeah, well then it's not canon.
Yeah,
it's not canon until they say it's canon. Parts of it are canon.
Still a little icky.
I don't think it's icky because like we're literally watching a universe that's pretty much like ours, except there are differences. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of the point, is that the universe that Peacemaker is in normally is a little different than the one that we thought it was from the before. That said, there is one constant in all the multiverses, or at least the 2 universes that we've seen, and that is Adrian. Oh my God, that character was so funny. He finally got to wear the costume. He has still not been allowed to kill anybody yet, but watching him Spider-Man meme with himself.
Spider-Man now canon in Peacemaker.
Yes. That shit was funny, man. Like him and his alternate universe self instantly getting along and having everything in common. And technically, even the Peacemaker thing would be a commonality, except clearly the Chris of this universe has some really bad politics, I think the idea, I think what we're really building up to is a slaughter fest with 2 vigilantes.
Yeah, vigilante known to hate races, as proven in the first season.
Right. Consistent, right? The only way you top it is if 2 vigilantes team up with a GI robot.
I don't know. I still would circle back to 2 weeks ago. I don't know if I want that.
2 vigilantes or 2 vigilantes and a GI robot?
For the resolution to this universe is just murder everyone inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying they got to murder everyone, but like there will be a lot of murder is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I'm not endorsing that I'm not saying that the way to solve this problem is kill them all. That is not what I am saying. Okay, so please, algorithm, don't put me under the bus later. But what I am saying is that we know that James Gunn has been like, he's got an itchy trigger finger right now when it comes to Adrian, and Adrian has not had a single kill this entire season.
Mhm.
He's going to make up for all 7 episodes either next week or the week after. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm excited for that. I love that John Economos completely folded under the pressure of when Augie attacked him and started asking him questions. He is the most cowardly hero ever. I love him. That character never stops entertaining me. I love that, like, Langston Fleury still gets to be a dork, but he's becoming more of a real person slowly, like
He's probably barely in this episode too.
Yeah, he's barely in the episode, and like he's just trying to help Flag figure out, what to do, and then Flag gets his idea to go visit Lex. I don't think Sasha Bordeaux was in the episode at all.
Yeah, very little probably.
But I think I'm glossing over a lot of things because I'm just trying to get all the little bits, of things that entertain me in this episode out of the way. But I just want to talk about the thing briefly before we wrap up the show. It would be bad of me to not discuss the amazing acting on display between Harcourt and Peacemaker in the interrogation room, right? So like, it's the circumstances are hilarious that it makes her end up in an interrogation room. Like, Adrian had a room full of cocaine. They created the magic door. It blew cocaine all over all of them. They get to Argus. The dog freaks out, and so she gets detained. And Chris ends up going in there, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And that conversation started really funny, and then it got really, really emotional. And I think the way those two characters were having this really emotional, I wouldn't even say conversation. I think the two of them had their own things that they were trying to get across, and it's almost like they just kept missing each other, right? And it was becoming more and more painful for each of them because they each wanted something very specific out of that conversation, and it wasn't the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you just see Harcourt's eyes well up with water, with tears, and she was almost exhausted from how stupid this conversation was, and she just said to him, like, "Are you coming back or not?" And like, that hurt my soul to see her do that. And so, like, applause to her. Like, I've seen interviews with James Gunn that he actually almost starts crying thinking about when they were filming that scene. He directed this episode, by the way, because he's so proud of Jennifer Holland, his wife, for the performance she gave in that moment. But also John Cena, like, dude, like I said before, man, if you got comedic timing, you can do serious stuff. It's just built in, So for me, that scene actually was my favorite scene in the episode, just because it was really emotional, and it was just showing this amazing range, and it was just showing us that, like, superhero stories can be so much more than pew pew and smashing toys together. You know what I mean? Like, we can have really real conversations about all kinds of things, or we can watch a black woman get chased through the neighborhood, by a bunch of races. Like, that's another thing we can do in like, but yeah, this show's just giving us all the things that no one else is giving us, and so I really appreciate it for that, even if it means losing an emote.
It was worth it.
Was that, where did that scene rank for you, by the way, the interrogation room?
I think I preferred like the ending scene more, like when it finally starts, like the cat's finally out of the bag without a bio,
because it was just a satisfying, like,
yeah,
we can finally move on kind of thing.
But it's I applaud James Gunn more and more in this season through as opposed to like his other work, his past work, even through like Guardians and stuff, where he doesn't undercut the moment with a joke. He's sitting on some of these emotional bits.
But also the moment was oh wait, which moment are we talking about? The moment with Chris and Jennifer and Amelia?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That one's never really undercut with a joke, and that was beautiful. Yes, correct.
He's sitting on these moments, but also like tackling. I mean, it's a pretty complex, like, it's a complex situation that they're in. Granted, it's very like, it's a little out there in terms of like real life, but the raw like emotions that are tied with what's happening are real, and to see like some of the work that he's getting out of the actors is neat. And I mean, especially for like John Cena, right? Like he's Mr. Wrestling. He's on a final world tour doing a million other things. To see him like lock in and deliver this type of stuff, while looking ridiculous, right? Because he has on the stupid outfit.
I know he has
for
the whole
Peacemaker
outfit
too.
on. Yeah.
It's cool. It's commendable.
I mean, there is another way of looking at that conversation, right? If we still want to continue the allegory of the first part of the season being a suicide, like metaphor, this conversation is, a kind of conversation that could be had by somebody who was unsuccessful at their attempt, right? Like it's and is now having to reconcile with the decision they made and how it hurt the people around them, right? And so there is, I think that's probably the simpler way of framing that conversation than I was too long-winded before, but I think that's what made that conversation so cool is it's all emotion. It was just all emotion, and you get to see how much they love each other, but Chris is still hung up on, but I want you to love me this way, you know what I mean? And like and it's like, come on, man.
Like it's giving like slight like Gamora and Guardians 3, like that weird situation. And
it is,
again, Gunn there could have done like the weird thing or made it weird, have them get back together or something like that. But the way he wraps up that story with like, I bet it would have been fun.
Yeah.
And they both acknowledge like the situation that occurred, right?
Yeah.
They're not oblivious to the emotion.
But I think it's an important thing that needs to be normalized, right? Is like, I think Hollywood so often has given men this idea that the hero gets the girl at the end, right? And I think it's important to know that like that's not a guaranteed thing. And I think the more important thing is how the man handles it when he doesn't get the girl.
Yeah.
You know, like and so I think that is true, that it is like Gamora, and I think this Harcourt thing is like, can you really blame Harcourt? Like that's complex, right? Like this is the man who killed the person she was closest to on this planet. He's lucky she even gives him the time of day, but she's actually really, really nice to him, all things considered. You know what I mean? So like, I think it's a little bit too much to ask for more than that, and so I think that's where he's still operating in a unrealistic expectation kind of mentality, and that's why he's just so, I mean, we saw he got to have his fantasy, right? He got to have his cake. He wakes up in bed with the Dimension X Harcourt, and so like he's having his delusion manifested in reality, and it makes it even harder. He's like, because he's like, hey, but I already had my cake. Why can't I have it with you? And so it's typical Chris, right? Like Chris is a stubborn man child, and I think that's he's perfectly in line with his character, and I think that's fine. It's all beautiful. But I know, the whatever happens the next two, it's going to be great. But I will ask you again. I think we talked about it before, but like, do you think we're getting Earth X Superman?
I think the likelihood that we do is higher.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want that or need that. But to that point, like, It's a comic book thing, right? Like there needs to be like a big bad or a villain. And I don't think Nazi universe is the villain, right?
Okay.
Like the collective Nazi universe is it's a hard thing to punch, right?
Yeah, but I think that's kind of why it's awesome, because it's a hard thing to punch. I know that they're gonna find something that they need to punch to get it out of their system, but I think they're also gonna acknowledge that they can't solve this problem by punching it too. You know what I mean? Like,
I hope so. Yeah.
yeah,
Like that. Yeah. So I mean, that's why the GI Robot thing doesn't sound appealing to me. It's like, yeah,
I think GI Robot killing a room full of them would be awesome, though.
Sure. He also is like, I don't know if he fits through that door now, right? He's like a tank now.
Yeah.
But nothing here or there. I did see a neat fan theory.
As long as he doesn't wreck the Beanie Babies.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a neat fan theory that the Augies are actually switched as well. Like they switched much earlier in the timeline.
That's funny.
And that, if you think about it, would kind of track, right? If you had Augie A in the not racist universe, who is a racist, find the racist universe and probably be chilling. And then you had Augie B from the racist universe, is probably like, I don't think I'm that racist. I don't think I'm that racist when you compare it to Universe A. It could.
Yeah, it's a stretch, but
you also get a kid back, right? If you're one of the Augies. So.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, maybe it's possible. Like, I think there's some obvious questions about this dimension, right? Like, what this pocket door dimension with all these doors is like, what's stopping anybody else from using the same passcode to go try all these other doors, right? And we even like the ones in Dimension X have even joked about going to visit other dimensions, right? Like they said that in like the second episode or something like that, I think. So yeah, who knows what kind of cross dimension like relationships everybody's having with each other. So who knows? Yeah. But I don't want to keep our listeners much longer. I think the point is we finally got there, ladies and gentlemen. This episode was what we've all been waiting for. Congrats on the super quick clocking of Racist Universe many weeks ago. I think I've seen interviews with James Gunn saying like, yeah, the internet figured it out weeks ago. Like I couldn't really stop them from figuring it out, but like it's like once it caught on, like there was no way he could avoid it. You know what I mean? But he did say he did screen the whole season for his friends before it came out, and they didn't notice it until it happened.
His friends are racist. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. What take with that what you will.
Alrighty. So. We will be back next week at 8 p.m. Talking about the next episode of Peacemaker. We got to start thinking about what we're going to talk about after Peacemaker.
I have one I'd like for November.
What is it?
V for Vendetta.
I've never seen it.
Ooh.
I do like Natalie Portman.
We'll shoot for the first week of November.
Isn't there like a date? Is that the date? Okay.
Yeah. We'll try to schedule that.
Is that Brian K. Vaughan?
No. It's Alan Moore.
Oh, okay. Ballpark.
No. You should end the show now. End the show now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, true believers.